I'm Valery. I'm an exophonic poet. For you who don't know what exophonic means a poet who writes in a different language that he was born into. I was born into a Russian language. I changed that to Romania when I was about 12, and then at the age of 30, I changed it to English. And I've been writing for 45 years in English, published 10 books. And I'm going to read to you tonight some erotic poetry, so bear with me. It's a little hot. This one is called Euphoria, the Psychedelic Speakeasy. Drop your job, your family, and your mistress. Drop everything if you must, but your lust. And set on the road to Euphoria, erotic club, laboratory of sacred ecstasy, on the corner of Sativa Street and Ecstasy Boulevard. The busboys are sporting enormous bulges, waiters with multiple bowls and glowing scrotum, stunning-looking women in see-through dress, breastfeeding seductresses and dominatrix nurses. The drink of the day is threesome on the beach, hyperinias made with kashasha, a vibrator at every table, space cakes in every glass. Open the secret door and you are in an orgy room. Dress code, glittery makeup, and perfume only. The French cock is running amok. The Jewish dick is big and thick. The Irish cock is hard as a rock. Italian big talk is a slow poke. The naked mermaid with gills and tail gives blowjob to the deadlocked dock. The musician in frock proudly showed their holly cock. Multi-sex for the unperplexed. Complex sex for the dosed unvexed. With a good pretext to indulge in such reflex. For the circumcised, there is circumsex. For the rubbernecks, special multiplex sex. Extreme daydream with a pleasure scream, orgasmic gleam, and fleeting squeal flow from the stream of sex supreme, sex supreme, sex supreme. Tantric, mantric, very semantic, Taoist toast for our host. Dilated pupils, watching that everyone has black condoms and Astroglide lube. Herbal, Viagra, guarana flavored coffee. Just maximizing your sexes, that's all. So drop your fears, drop your inhibition, drop if you must your easy life. Set out in search of euphoria and your luck. Go for adventure and never come back. Thank you. This one is called Sexual Ports of Call. In swinging Bangkok, plenty of tattoo cock. On the island of Hvar, Croatian men wait naked at the bar. In the Adriatic breeze, most nudies never sneeze. In the former Yugoslav, they have heard of polylove. Ménage à trois in Sukasa, polyamory couples fest in Budapest. Menage a go-go at the Hotel Indigo. Love-stuck hotel on a giant cruise. One moment you snooze, you are surely to lose. Death sad ceremony in Toulouse. You must be young at heart at least in Byron Bay, Australia, far east, to join the straight swingers list. Polylove in Polynesia, psychedelic orgy in Indonesia, multi-orgasmic in Bali, at erotica party with you and me, pirates of sex during the day, pussy whipped by night, leather perverts for pay, underwater sex next to Bermuda, so watch for the genital snapping barracuda. The Marrakesh Harem Majun, served by belly dancers in the afternoon, made by Emir of Tangier as a party dish, sweet with plenty of hashish. And lastly, beyond the Lady Liberty, hypnotic, masturbatory, marathon, lovemaking of a poet in New York, crystal cleansing, lower chakras, pure lustification, purification, illumination through endless ejaculation in the ocean of tantric elation. Thank you. This was Sexual Ports of Call. These are from my book, Perks in Purgatory, that it's available right here. Now, this little ditty is an imitation of a famous poet, so I'm going to skip it. And I would read you, arising from the bed of the goddess of love. Magnetism of lust, twilight of my obsession. The goddess violently shake her legs, locked around my head. I am half buried in her vulva, suckling. It's raining with flavor condoms and tubes of colored lubricating jelly. Herbs burning at the altar of sexual dependency. My name is Valery, and I am a sexaholic. I don't mind if you make love to my friend at the same time. I feel amplified by your gravitational pull, and stereo moaning hits me up. I can feel body parts I never knew I had, all the entrances and exits of my body, buzzing, hurting, healing. Now I know it's a healing massage administered sexually, multiple partners, multiple orgasm, a simultaneous symphony of sweet delight. That's my post-orgasmic vision. Give me an aphrodisiac amulet from Tibet. Pass me the cyanide with a glass of bromide, and the petite brunette, fetish, wettish, very coquettish, railroads, trains, and tunnels of dreams yet to be discovered. Just look how far we have not come. God is a ready-made when he discovered himself. I don't want to go to sleep. I want to stay erected. Viagra cocktail, vital man drink, stay hard cream, erecto spray. This is the last gangbang of the century, the last resort of deviation for the millennium. And this time I will come exalted, madly gyrating into the holy shrine. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to read a poem dedicated to Gregory Corso, and it's called There Are No Corsets for Corso. Strange to think of you gone without corsets and eyes. Allen Ginsberg, Kaddish. Behold hieroglyphs of the geometric poem. The Pharaoh is holding the poet in his lap. The words are camouflaged in an ancient Egyptian. It's a poem about gods drowning in the sand, a rainbow of metaphors and Egyptian drawings. Penguin dust, more penguin dust, is the avant-garde nomad piercing the pyramid. Truncated Sphinx becomes a word slinger. Even on his deathbed, the poet is still writing one last book, knowing that is his last. Just like his friend Alan, first thought, best thought, Gregory is hackling from above. Fried shoes, get your fried shoes over here. His voice fades away, and his ashes are flown to Italy. He's buried next to Shelley. What a romantic company, even when you are dead. What a great conversation. Gregory is writing now for God's eyes only. The prophecy came through. Life is a Rotary Club in purgatory. Brain luminescence burns in the sky, remaining there for years and years to come. This is from my book, Perks in Purgatory. And now I'm going to read from another book called Anarchy for a Rainy Day. And I'm going to start with the poem, the beginning of the book. This poem is called Toast to Zombieitis, and it was translated in several European languages, including Dutch, and published in Holland in an anarchistic magazine. So I'm very proud being member of the anarchist club in Holland. Cheers for the ear of the metal snake. Bless us, Our Lady of perpetual inhumanity. Give us our apocalyptic nightmares left over from the wars and arms intervention. The hot roses melt beneath the burning targets as the moon slithers upon the wings of a shiny drone. Praise our saints of vulgar medieval brutality, our wizards of renditions and waterboarding. Unending killing cycles, skies smothered with red, mastering the banality of human cruelty. The landscapes of graves, the venom of revenge, while masses of the dead will own the future. Laser teeth for the aging dogs of war. Bless us, O prophets of Caliphate and Sharia. The sun growls, the clouds barks, the air crumbles, the stealth chasing the invisible enemy. Darkness evaporates into more darkness behind nuclear mountains. River run in reverse. The crystal skull exhales chemical storm clouds. A toast to a new intelligence that sleeps among night vision goggles and scorpions in flight. A toast to zombieitis of our time. Thank you. And I'm going to read another sensual poem. This one is called The Jazz of Sex in Flight. Usually I perform with a bunch of friends behind me because my style, it's called jazzoetry. I sort of invented this style about 45 years ago, and I'm performing usually with a lot of musicians, but my musician got sick, so I couldn't bring him today. He was supposed to perform with me. The jazz of sex in flight. I tiptoe to your heart-shaped derriere. I lean my ear to your curvaceous cheeks to listen to the music of your sexual swing, punctuated by the panic of a restricted rectum. Those obstacles that excite me even more. Closing my eyes, opening my sensorial radar, flashes of toxic psychedelic light radiate the bed with a blue glow all night. Breast pulsating with hot convulsive blood. Your toe in my mouth. Your toe in my mouth tickling my palate. Round cheeks, a window into the dark canyons. Unbleached sails flapping on the streams of orgasm, aroma of laughing gas, vaporized words, spices and perfumes permeate fiery tongues, sliding on opal silks, reluctantly excited, fleeing mountains of shallow memory, still breathing, fearful of gyrating lust, the magic of convulsive, unending nights, unconquered passion, unvarnished sight, there where someone waits for passion, bullet dreams of incomparable pleasure that blaze behind the magician eyes. Thank you, thank you. This little poem is dedicated to Ted Jones, a good friend of mine, a famous poet, the priest of jazz, I called him. Motto: no bread, no Ted. He was ready to play anytime. He was able to make and to take on anyone. In Paris, Berlin, or Timbuktu, jazz was his religion till the end. Traveling surrealist shaman with a hammock and the Beats book under his horny arms, birds' music in his heart, preaching for Charlie Parker, Langston Hughes, the beat poets, jazzoetry, mouse and teeth, triple trouble Ted flutters by, available for impromptu lecture or a tumble in a crumpled bed. Surreal dreams of aphrodisia and instant mirrors for rhinos. He kissed unpardonable pussy. He liberated sexually oppressed, fermented, berated, and poeticized. Ted Jones, Ted Jones, Ted Jones, nomadic consciousness. Another poet that I would like to mention tonight is Janine Vega, who was a dear, dear friend, and she actually took me to Rikers Island to read poetry to the inmates. And I read some erotic poems, and we created a whole riot. They start lighting their mattresses, and was an unbelievable event. And of course, fire department was called in. This one is called The Drum Circle, to Janine Vega. Beat the drums, beat the drums, beat the drums slowly, like a wave of pebbles, for the Bearsville medicine woman of Willow. Beat the drums quietly, for the beat poetess of Woodstock. Beat the drums till the snakes gather round the fire. The witch's brew fills the air with vapors of lizard as the guitars play for the freedom of memory. In a trance, shaking shakers, improvising, reading from Europa to Naropa, from Colorado to El Dorado, the woman warrior of the beats, from Napoli to Tripoli, radical, instinctual, climbing the highest mountain. A wind has blown out her candles, disappearing deep in a dark forest. The blossom remains floating in her garden down the steep slopes into your creek. Sleep, Janine, sleep, with all the birds exulting at your window. They cannot wake you up anymore, only your memory. Beat the drums, beat the drums, beat the drums till out of breath. Janine walks freely through the eternal city. Thank you. Thank you for Janine. This one is called Surreal Cosmos, Letter to a Future Generation. Dear commonards of interplanetary surexistence, resist, provoke, inspire, and enlighten. These are some of the tools for the Sur future. We are all magically on the same frequency and a desire to unite in a mind revolution. Our nightmare live free in a space-time continuum, sexualizing the masses through poetry and jazz. Slap the kitsch, shock the taste of the techno-clones. Surrealism cannot be kept as a pet or a caged animal. We must break the Freudian chain, a non-Oedipal rebellion, to conquer the inner and outer worlds, diverse eternity. The system of totalitarian control must be subverted. The hierarchies in the arts must be dissolved or disabled. Negate the negation. Kill death. Sexualize sexuality. We have to get out of ourselves more often. The day when the planet stops and shows its love, all sacred monsters must retire. All believers question. Greeting, intraterrestrial. Greeting, extraterrestrial. Let's rock this spaceship. Let's kick it up a notch. We have arrived, united as a brotherhood of one. Thank you very much. I am Valery Oisteanu, the voice of East Village. Thank you.